Marge on mute.
आर्दानस्वरंदंतरिगम याचे पुनः पुनः श्रीमद्रुपराम भोज विलिष्याम जन्म जन्मनि अनर्पित चरिम चिरात कर्णावतीर्णा कलौ समर्पयितुं नत जनसां भक्ति श्रियम् हरिपुरट सुंदर द्विति कदम्ब संदीपितः सदा रमणे कंदरे स्मृतवा शुचिनंदना सर्वप्रथम स्मरे गुरुपाद पद्म मिथिला पृष्ठ गुरु शिष्य भक्तिदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज जी के अभय चरणार बिंदों में अनंत कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम अर्पण। उपस्थित रंडीपा सन्यासी शिष्य भक्तिदांत दंडी महाराज नामनिष्ठ संत श्री अनिरुद्धास प्रभु जी और समस्त वैष्णव के चरणों में यथार्थ दंडवत प्रणाम अर्पण करता हूँ। So discussing from page number 64. In Srila Vishwanath Thakur Sarada Varshini commentary on verse 18.55 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, beginning Bhaktyamam Abhijanati. He has mentioned 4 kinds of practices who cultivate exclusive Jnana or Brahma Jnana. Those people who think that Jnana alone, devoid of Bhakti, is competent to give Mukti, accept profuse tribulation in their practice of cultivating Jnana. In essence, what they attain is tribulation and tribulation alone. Such people are greatly condemned. The verse previously discussed, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10.14.4, Yanne Arvindakshi Mukta Manna Suyastha Bhavat Abhishuddha Buddhaya Aruya Krutshya Paramparam Tada Patantinam Bhuteshwara Graya. And also Shreya Satyam Bhakti Mudastate Yudo Krishyante Kevala Moda Labde Isha Maso Kleshara Eva Shishyate Nanya Tata Yustula Prasavagatina. So Gyan cannot be the cause of liberation. It's very clear out here. That impersonal liberation, impersonal knowledge, devoid of bhakti is not able to give liberation. So, Kim Karishya Sankhena, Kim Yogena Narnayaka, Muktim Ichasi Agendra, Rajendra, Guru Govinda Kirtana. If you want liberation, then you should simply do bhakti. Don't pursue impersonal knowledge. Like Bilongal Thakur was a great devotee. He also told that Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Asman Dharmartha Kamagataya Samay Pratiksha Bhakti Swai Stiratara Bhagavanya Disyat Daive Nana Phalati Divya Kishora Murti Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Asman Dharmartha Kamagataya Samaya Pratiksha. If you get bhakti, then liberation will be running after you with folded hands. But devotee was chanting Hare Krishna mantra in his bhajan kuti. And that time, as he was chanting Hare Krishna mantra in his bhajan kuti, that time, suddenly someone knocked on the door. Oh, what is this? Who's there at the door? Who's knocking at the door? So, the person replied, I am liberation. Ka tvam mukti rupagatasmi bhavati tasmad tasmadiha Shri Krishna smaranena deva bhavito dasi padam prapita. So that devotee said, who are you? Oh, who's knocking at the door? I am liberation, I am mukti. Why are you knocking at my door? Oh, because you are chanting Krishna, so I want to marry you. Then that devotee replied, no, I don't want to marry liberation. I don't want to take her as my maid servant. Dure tishtha managa nasikatam kuryadanaaryam mai tvad gandhan nija nama chandana rasa lepasa lopo bharu. If I will accept liberation, then that wonderful sandalwood paste of Naam, Harinam, which is applied on my entire body, that will be of no value. So therefore, we don't want liberation. Although liberation wants to serve the devotee doesn't want liberation. Hanuman also was told by Ram Yeah, Hanuman, I will give you liberation. You can merge in me. Then Hanuman said, no, Lord, I don't want that. I don't want to. I don't want that liberation. Why I don't want that liberation? Because I am your servant and you are my master. This type of where this type of discrimination goes away, I don't want that type of liberation. Bhavabandha chiddei tasya sprayami na mukte. Bhavan prabhur aham dasa ityatra vilukte. Hmm. You are my Lord and I am your servant. This type of relationship is gone. Then I don't want that type of liberation. Hanuman told the Lord. So devotees don't accept any type of liberation. So Sukha Sevatara Mukti or Prema Sevatara Mukti don't want accept. Sometimes they may accept Prema Sevatara Mukti, but generally Sahitya Mukti certainly they don't accept. Then there are those who practice jnana that is mixed with bhakti, bhakti mishra jnana. Upon seeing the scriptural passage, Sarvasam eva siddhinam Moolam tat charanarchanam. The worshipping of Sri Krishna's lotus feet is the root of the perfection of all kinds of sadhana. After enormous tribulation, such persons reach the stage of absorption in abstract meditation. But because they consider Sri Bhagavan's divinely graceful form to be a temporary manifestation of Maya, they become offenders at his lotus feet. As a result, they become degraded and cheated out of obtaining mukti. Such people are considered are condemnable among Jainis. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32 it is said, Yamne Arvindaksha Vimukta Manas Toyasta Bhavata Vishuddha Buddhaya Aruya Krutchena Param Padam Tataha Patanti Anatrati Vishwadangraya. Patanti Adho Anatrati Vishwadangraya. In Garbha Stotra, prayers to the demigods, to Sri Krishna, in the womb, the demigods led by Brahma are praising Sri Krishna as follows. O lotus-eyed one, impure is the intelligence of those who, disregarding your divinely graceful lotus feet, believe themselves to be liberated. For such persons have no bhakti to you. Although they ascend to a state of liberation in this life, Jivan Mukta as a result of excruciatingly burdensome practice, they again fall down into disgracefulness. So, what is the point of doing all this Jnana Marga, Yoga Marga, Karma Marga? We don't want to follow any of these paths. Like Saram Bhattacharya, when he met Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu explained to him the correct conclusion of Vedanta Sutra. And after that, what Saram Bhattacharya, he said, Jnatam Gana Bhujam Matam Parjite Anvikshike Shikshita. Mimamsa Viditaiva Sankhya Sarani Yoge Vitirana Mati Vedanta Parishilita Sarvasam Kintu Spuran Madhuri Dhara Kachana Nandu Sunu Murli Machittam Akarshi. He said, now that I have surrendered to your lotus feet, O Lord Krishna, O Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am not interested in any theistic philosophy or atheistic philosophy. All these Yoga Marga, Sankhya Marga, and all this type of atomic theory of creation, Purmimamsa, Uttarmimamsa, have no value to me. I only want to hear Krishna's flute song. I only want to hear Krishna's holy name. I don't want any other burden. So Jnana Marga, Karma Marga, they are and especially if you think that the deity is temporary, then actually it's a big offense. Because it is very clearly told, Arche Vishnu Shiladhir, Gurushu Naramati, Vaishnava Jati Buddhir, Vishtorva Vaishnavanam Kalimala Mathane Pada Tirthi Ambu Buddhi. Sri Vishnu Namni Mantre Sakala Kalushay Sabda Samanya Buddhi. Sri Vishnu Sarveshwareshe Taitara Samadhirya Sivan Arakisa. Or to regard the deity of Vishnu to be made of stone or clay or wood, this is an offense. Guru to be considered the Guru to be ordinary human being is also an offense. Understand? So deity is Sachidanandamay, completely perfect, eternal. Like when Srila Bhakti Rakha Siddhar Maharaj joined the mutt, he came to visit the mutt first before he joined. And when Pujari was worshipping the deity, and he asked the Pujari that why the spiritual master who is staying upstairs, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Why he doesn't worship the deity? The deity is Sachidanandamaya. First he asked, what is the deity made of here? Then they told that deity is not made of brass, clay, ashtadhatu, any metal, wood or stone. Deity is knowledge, bliss and eternity. He said, if deity is knowledge, bliss and eternity, why the spiritual master is not serving? The devotee told that spiritual master is serving Krishna in his own heart. And we are serving the deity manifestation. Understand? So, not that the Guru is not serving Krishna. He is serving Krishna in his own heart. Because Krishna is also in the heart of the spiritual master. Understand? So, to think that deity is made of stone or temporary material, that is an offense. Deity is not made of stone or any material, it is Sachidanandamaya. And there are those among the guild of Gyanis who practice Jnana mixed with Bhakti Mishra Gyan, and consider the form of Sri Bhagavan to be comprised of eternality, cognizance and bliss. They alone, upon dispelling worldly knowledge and nations and gaining indirect knowledge related to the absolute reality, obtain the liberation of merging into the Lord's effulgence, Brahma Sahitya. Such people are somewhat laudable. So fine, there are some people, they worship the deity, but their aim and object is jnana, understand? Bhakti Mishra Jnana. So using the process of bhakti, they want to merge in the effulgence of Bhagavan. That is also like committing suicide, understand? Um, Actually, in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, this topic of merging in the effulgence of the Lord is described. Because Gopakumar apparently went to Mukti Loka. This Mukti Loka is situated outside of this Brahmanda, and it is the entry into the Chit Jagat, spiritual sky. It is below Shiva Loka and above this Brahmanda. And Gopakumar, when he went to this particular Mukti Loka, he saw that everything was like dull. Everyone was like in deep sleep, like Sushupti. Understand? Deep sleep. Like we have three states. We are awake, wakefulness, dreaming state, and also deep sleep without any dream. So people there who had been liberated, they were all just sleeping there. Actually. No activity there. Also, Bhagavan was also present there in a manifest form. Although he had a form, actually he appeared to be having no form. Means in Mukti Loka, people are unable to see the wonderful form of Krishna there. Because all their life, they pursued this knowledge. Bhagavan is shapeless, formless. The deity also. Yes, they are serving the deity, but they want to merge in the deity. Understand? Or they want to merge in the effulgence of the deity. They accept the deity, but they don't want to keep a separate existence. They want to become Krishna himself. But our philosophy is not that you become Krishna. You merge in Krishna or his effulgence. We don't want to merge in Brahma Jyoti or Krishna either. We want to be more than Krishna. Vaishnava philosophy means be greater than Krishna. How do you become greater? Nanda Maharaj is greater. Yashoda is greater than Krishna. Like one time all the cowherd men told Nanda Maharaj that your son is Bhagwan. Nanda Maharaj said that I knew that the cowherd species is very less intelligent. And their wisdom teeth don't manifest in their mouths till they are 80-year-old. Means they are foolish till they are 80. When they become 80-year-old, at least some intelligence dawns in their head. How can you call this little child Bhagwan? All day stealing. Understand? Means Krishna is such a naughty boy that when Mother Yashoda will tell him to take foodstuffs at his own home, take butter, take milk, tell yogurt, this, that, he will say, no, I'm not hungry. But then he will go to others' houses and steal. He doesn't want to get the butter which is given straightforward manner. He likes it when it is stolen. So this type of personality can be Bhagavan. Nanda Maharaj highly doubted. Understand? And he said he's lying all the time, cheating, Is this the sign of Bhagavan? Understand? He will enter the houses of the Gopas and the children are sleeping. He will pinch them and wake them up, slap them. If he doesn't find butter in the house of any gopi, he will urinate there, defecate, pass stool there. Is this a sign of Bhagavan? You know. So Nanda Maharaj refused to accept Krishna as Bhagavan. He said, no, this boy is not Bhagavan. And he said, I am not going to give up my right to chastise him. You are claiming him to be Bhagavan, but I know that he is not Bhagavan and he is my son. And if Narayan has bestowed such a son on me, not his son, then I have full right to chastise him. I can slap him, I can twitch his ear, and I can, correct him. If I cannot correct my son, then why became my son? Why Bhagavan gave me as my son? So like Nanda Maharaj refused the proposal of all the Gopas. So who's greater actually? Nanda Maharaj is greater or Krishna is greater? Nanda Maharaj is a million times greater than Krishna. Understand? He is controlling Krishna. Yashoda is completely controlling Krishna. And gopis are controlling him to even more degree. There is no limit to what degree the gopis are controlling. So gopis are even more than Bhagavan. So we don't want to be Bhagavan, we want to be more than Bhagavan by becoming a devotee of him. Bhagavan himself said, Mad Bhakta Pujya Vidika. Worship my devotees more than. So we want to see that form of Bhagavan who is afraid of Mother Yashoda's chastisement. Mother Yashoda is chastising him. Hey, did you eat butter? And Krishna is telling, no, I didn't eat butter. Maya asking a question. That did you eat butter? Maya mori main nahi makhan khayo. Surdas is telling. Gaurav gayan ke piche सांझ परे घर आयो मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो. Early morning I went to graze the cows, to tend the cows. Evening I came back. When I have time to steal the butter? I didn't eat the butter yet. Mother, I didn't steal the butter. Understand? This person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but afraid of mother's chastisement. Understand? So, then there are the fourth class of people. There is a fourth type of Jnani. This type of Jnani is supremely fortunate. While cultivating Jnana, personalities like Sri Shukdev Goswami obtained, by the mercy of Bhagavan, the association of a Mahabhagavat. By the influence of the association of that Mahabhagavat, they were rescued from the inclination to achieve mukti and become blissfully immersed in testing the sweetness of Bhakti. Such Jnanis are exceedingly laudable. So like someone who is very fortunate and some Bhakti Unmukh Sukruti. Like in Mukti Lok, Gopakumar saw everything was very dull and like deep sleep. Everything was so impersonal there. But all of a sudden, Gopakumar saw that one great personality sitting on the back of a bull came there. He was having a small drum in his hand, Damru, and a trishul in his hand. He had an entourage. His beautiful wife was with him, and his sons, Kartikeyan and also Ganesh. And they all were dancing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gopakumar was stunned. So who is this personality? And then he came to know that that personality is Shiva, because the abode of Lord Shiva is just above the Mukti Loka. So if the Lord Shiva has to go to the mortal world, Kailash planet, to show his pastimes, then he has to pass through this Mukti Loka. So when he is passing through Mukti Loka, there may be Sankirtan may be entering the ears of the residents here. And then they may get association of Shiva. And then they may again come back to earth, take birth as human beings and do sadhan bhajan again and then go to Vaikuntha. But actually Mukti Loka is actually very, very, it's like a solitary confinement in a jail, high security jail. It's very, very painful. Understand? So therefore, fortunate are those persons who are rescued from this conception of liberation or mukti. Like Bilomangal Thakur said, स्वराज्य सिंहासन लब्ध दीक्षा हटेन केनापि वयम शठेन दासी कृता गोप वधु विटेन अद्वैत वीथिर प्रतिके रूपास्या स्वानंद सिंहासन लब्ध दीक्षा हटेन केनापि वयम शठेन दासी कृता गोप वधु विटेन. I was I was crowned, anointed as the emperor of all the monists. I had become Shankaracharya of Dwarka Pit. I was the greatest of the monists and impersonalists. But alas, alas, there is a big cheater, Krishna. He pulled my hair and made me into his maid servant. So Krishna, so Bilomangal Thakur is telling like that. So even Jnani is like Bilomangal Thakur. Shukdev Goswami was a perfect Brahma Jnani. He became a devotee of Krishna by the association of Vyasadeva. Therefore, Saram Bhattacharya and Mahaprabhu were talking, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave so many meanings of the words. Atmarama Dimunayo Nirgranthapi Urukrame Purvanti Aitukim Bhakti Uttam Bhutaguna. He gave 8 meanings of these words. Mahaprabhu gave 16 meanings, double the meanings he gave. And didn't even touch the meaning which Saram Bhattacharya gave. Even the great self-satisfied sages like Shukdev Goswami and four Kumaras, they are attracted to the service of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. They are perfectly situated in Brahma Gyan, knowledge of impersonal liberation, Brahma Jyoti. But because of the association of great devotees, a special mercy of Bhagavan, they are inclined to devotional service. That's why Mahaprabhu he explained this verse to Saram Bhattacharya in so many manners. And in Mahaprabhu's explanation, the impersonal liberation was refuted. Atmarama vachanadi nirvishesha khandanam shrautavakya sarthakai kachid vilasa mandanam divya krishna vigrahadi gauna buddhi dhikkaram prema dhama devameva nomi gaura sundaram. Divya krishna vigrahadi gauna buddhi dhikkaram. The deity of Krishna is not made from modes of material nature. It's completely transcendental. It's good. Understand? Mahaprabhu explained this. Who is doing bhakti? Great sages, Atma Jnanis are attracted to bhakti. And Muni, Munaya, Atma Ramasya Munaya. Muni means great sages, and Muni also means birds. In Vrindavan, on the branches of different trees, there are different birds like cuckoo bird and parrots, peacocks, and so many birds are sitting. And these birds are completely hearing the nectar of flute song emanating from Krishna's flute. And they are so satisfied. These great sages like Shukdev Goswami are parrots in Vrindavan, understand? But they are also attracted to bhakti. Understand? Great sages, even Brahmagyanis are attracted to bhakti. So bhakti is all attractive. So thus it is most important that all Jnani sadhakas depend immensely on the bhakti in order to obtain perfection. Now the Karmi's reliance on bhakti will be described. Very important verse. Yattva sadharmam charanambujam hare bhajana pakvotha pate tato Yatrakva bhadram amushakim kovartapto bhajatam sudharmata. Devarshi Narad is saying to a disheartened Sri Vyasadeva, O Muni, how can any harm come to those who, giving up their prescribed and occasional duties in Varnashram Dharma, perform bhajan of Sri Hari's divinely graceful lotus feet and then fall spiritually before their bhajan has fully matured? So it may happen that many people start practicing bhakti, but after practicing bhakti for some time, they give up practicing bhakti and they fall down. Sannyasis may get married, brahmacharis may leave their ashram and get married. Grihasthas may stop chanting. So, but here Gurudev is telling, Narad Muni is telling to Vyasadeva that there is no harm, even if you fall down. After some time you fall down from the path of devotional service, there is no harm. But what is use of properly executing the Varnashram Dharma? Understand? And not engaging in devotional service. So it is very, very important that we never give up our bhakti. Understand? Even if we fall down, no harm. We'll carry on from where we left. Like today, Gurudev was giving an example that some demons, they troubled Durvasa Muni. And like Durvasa had a very nice ashram, and one demon came there and started harassing Durvasa Muni and killing the animals in that area, eating their flesh. So Durvasa cursed him, you become a python, you become a snake. And in this way, he became a snake. But actually, Gurudev was telling that actually Durvasa was giving him mercy. Understand? Like Nalakubar and Manigriv. They were cursed to become trees. But although they were cursed to become trees, they became trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj by the Narad Muni's curse. And what happened? Krishna released them from that curse of Narad Muni and gave him the position in Golak Vrindavan as singers, Digdakanta and Madhukanta. So they fell down apparently, but actually, so Gurudev said that the chastisement of sadhus and Gurudev is so auspicious. Actually, when Gurudev chastises us, it's a special mercy. It's a very, very special mercy. Like Gurudev was giving an example of Shri Jagadananda Pandit. One time, Jagadananda Pandit, he told Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami he came to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan. So when he's coming in the forest, he's sleeping anywhere and he's drinking the water which is maybe contaminated, and so many insects and flies, mosquitoes are there in the forest. So he's developed, Sanatana Goswami developed severe pimples on his whole body, like sores on his body, full of pus. So Mahaprabhu used to always come and embrace Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami said, why you are embracing me, Mahaprabhu? Because of the pus in all my body, your clothes and your body is becoming dirty. But Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami that, hey Sanatana, Vaishnava's body is always very pure. And if I don't embrace them, then Krishna will never forgive me. Because I would have offended Vaishnava because of his apparently external fault. Or then, so anyway, Sanatana Goswami didn't know what to do. He asked Jagadananda Pandit, Mahaprabhu comes and embraces me and I have this skin infection. What should I do? Then Jagadananda Pandit told him, hey Sanatana, you can return to Vrindavan. Please go to Vrindavan. Understand? Don't stay here for long because Mahaprabhu will keep on embracing you. So why do this? So you go to Vrindavan. So when Mahaprabhu overheard, he heard what Jagadananda had said to Sanatana Goswami that he should not stay here should go to Vrindavan. Then he chastised Jagadananda Pandit. Hey, this yesterday's child Jaga is teaching now Sanatana. He thinks that he's better than Sanatana Goswami. Then Sanatana Goswami, when he heard that how Mahaprabhu had chastised Jagadananda Pandit, he said, Sanatana Goswami said that really Jagadananda Pandit is a recipient of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Mahaprabhu is chastising him. The real nectar of Mahaprabhu, his chastisement, Jagadananda Pandit is receiving. But what I am receiving is a praise, glorification, which is actually Mahaprabhu is cheating me of the real nectar. The real nectar is chastisement. One time Sanatana Goswami was cooking in Vrindavan and Jagadananda Pandit had also come to Vrindavan. And Sanatana Goswami had wrapped over his head the saffron cloth. And then Jagadananda Pandit saw this. He asked Sanatana Goswami, why you have wrapped a saffron cloth around your head? Ah, is it Mahaprabhu's cloth? Mahaprabhu has gifted you some saffron cloth. Then Sanatana Goswami told that no, this is the saffron cloth gifted to me by one sannyasi called Mukundananda Saraswati, a Mayavadi sannyasi, Mukunda Saraswati. Then hearing the name Saraswati, Mukunda Saraswati, which is a Mayavadi name, Jagadananda Pandit, he was cooking some in a utensil on the stove, but that entire utensil with hot water he wanted to beat up Sanatana Goswami. Understand? So Sanatana Goswami told that see how much love and affection you have for Mahaprabhu. You are so much possessive of that. When you thought that I am wearing the cloth of Mahaprabhu on my head, then you were so happy. But when you saw that I was wearing Mayavadi's cloth, you wanted to chastise me or beat me up. Understand? So these are the dealings between the Vaishnavas. So Sri Vyasadeva is disheartened. Why is disheartened? Because he wrote all the Puranas, Mahabharata, all Upanishads, Vedanta, Vedanta Sutra, everything, still not satisfied. But then Narad Muni told him he should write clearly Sri Krishna's sweet pastimes in Vrindavan. Then you will feel satisfaction. So here he is encouraging Vyasadeva. What is to be obtained by those who do not perform bhajan or bhakti to Bhagavan and who simply discharge their prescribed and occasional duties in Varnashram Dharma, 4 social divisions and future orders of life. For them there is no gain. Even if you execute all your duties immaculately, but if you don't do bhakti, it's all waste. He is told by Bhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj used to always quote this verse: Araditam Hari tapasah tatah kim Naraditam yadi Hari tapasah tatah kim. If you don't worship with love and affection Lord Hari, what is use of austerities? And if you don't worship Lord Hari with love and affection, what is use of austerities? There is. Understand? So whether you worship Lord Hari lovingly, then there is no use of austerities. And if you don't worship Lord Hari, still the austerities is meaningless. Understand? Austerity is either way meaningless. Understand? If you worship Lord Hari with love and affection, you don't need austerities at all. Understand? But if you don't worship Lord Hari, then any amount of austerities will be useless. So either way austerities are useless if you worship Hari or don't worship Hari. So instead of engaging in dry austerities, you should engage in bhakti. You should engage in bhakti. So here, sometimes it may happen that a devotee may fall down. So that time Arjuna also asked Krishna that if someone will fall down from the path of devotional service, what will happen to that person? Will he wither like the riven cloud? Then Krishna told that no, a person who has fallen down from the path of devotion will begin from where he has left off. From where he has left in past life, he will begin from there. He doesn't have to go to the same class again. He will be given birth where he can get forever association. Like Gurudev was telling that you are doing Giraj Govardhan Parikrama. When you are doing Giraj Govardhan Parikrama, Giraj is himself walking behind you in some form or other. What this devotee wants, let me see. If that devotee will take one creeper and tie it to a tree, then Giraj will give him a beautiful wife. If he will place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bricks, one over the other near Giraj, Giraj will give a nice story building as a gift. Understand? Giraj is so merciful. But if that devotee will not ask anything, then Giraj will give him Krishna Prem. Like today's class, Srila Gurudev was making a point. He said, don't get divorced. If you are married, don't give up your wife. You should stick with the same wife. And he especially gave advice to the women that he said you should never reject your husband. Husband may reject you, but you should never reject the husband. He told that in Western world, Western women, they are very much not aware of this Vedic culture and they give up their husband very easily. But he said you should not do that. Because if you are in the habit of giving up your husband, what is the chance that you will not give up Krishna also? You will give up Krishna also one day. If you are not loyal to your husband, if you are not loyal to your mother and father and your husband, what is the chance you will be loyal to Krishna? No chance. Understand? Zero. So Gurudev was telling that a woman should never give up her husband. Husband may give her up, but woman should be so chaste, she should never give up her husband. So, this is very, very important. So, purport is that if prior to obtaining Bhagwan, a bhakti sadhaka passes away, becomes ill, or for any number of reasons happens to discontinue his bhajan or even go astray, there is no loss for him at all, nor does any misfortune befall him. Like we saw, Anandmohan Brahmachari had tuberculosis and he left the world very early, but at the time of death he was chanting Radha Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna. So nothing was lost. He was remembering his Gurudev and Radha Krishna. So he had a topmost destination. Understand? Sometimes it may happen that one will give up his bhajan or will deviate from the path of devotional service. But there is no harm. But on the other hand, for a person who neglects performing bhakti to Bhagavan and remains absorbed until the end of his life in the discharge of regular prescribed duties, as well as occasional duties such as the performance of charity, religious vows and austerity, there is nothing to be gained at all. After enjoying fleeting and precarious happiness on heavenly planets and the like, such a person again plummets into samsara, cycle of birth and death in the material world. Without Bhagavad Bhakti, his vows, the discharge of his prescribed duties and so on go entirely in vain. So without Bhakti, any amount of austerities are of no use. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila affirms this. Chari varnashrami yadi Krishna nahi bhaje swakarma kvarite se ravrave padi maje. If those in the four social divisions and spiritual orders of life do not perform bhajan of Sri Krishna, then even though they have faithfully carried out the prescribed duties of those divisions and orders, they fall into the hell known as Raurava. So, if you don't perform devotional service of Sri Krishna, you'll have to go to hell. No, for sure. The karma and gyan will not save you. Thus, yoga, karma and so on are not at all effective without bhakti. To indicate this, Lord Brahma says, Pureha bhuman bahavo api yoginas tvad arpiteha nijakharma labdaya vibuddha bhaktaiva tathopa nityaya prapedire nijo achyutate gatim para. O infallible, infinite and limitless one, when in previous times many yogis on this planet found themselves incapable of obtaining knowledge of you through yoga, they themselves fully offered the results of their worldly and Vedic actions at your divinely graceful lotus feet. By fully offering the results of their actions as well as by the influence of bhakti, born of listening with relish to description of your pastimes, they become aware of Atma Tattva, the truth of the soul, and your Swarup Tattva, the truth of your intrinsic nature, and happily obtain the supreme destination, your lotus feet. Understand? It's very important verse here. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatruvesha Kripa Sindhuveda Pradhanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. You can also ask here or you can later on message me. Understand? I'll try to answer the questions in the next class. Hare Krishna. So we have stopping at page number 68, please remember that. And we'll discuss this very, very important book, Sri Madhurya Kadambini, next time when we meet. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Maharaj, just one question. You mentioned that if you're married, you should not leave. So,
Yeah.
but the question arises for us in like, we don't live in India and stuff. So if the Mataji is a devotee and the husband is not, and he's doing like all sorts of, funny things and stuff. So what
Uh,
does she do in that situation, Maharaj?
yeah, actually, then in that case, patim tu apatitam tajit. In Bhagavatam, it is told that you should not give up a husband, generally speaking, even if he's old, lame, blind, deceased. But if he is fallen and opposed to bhakti, like Mirabai, Mirabai wrote a letter to Tulsidas, my husband is very much opposed to bhakti. He is opposing my bhakti. Then Tulsidas said that you should give up such a husband, just like Ravan was given up by Vibhishan. Although he was brother of Vibhishan, Vibhishan gave him up. Also, Bali Maharaj gave up his spiritual master because spiritual master was against Sri Krishna. Understand? And Bharat gave up his mother Kaikeyi because she was opposed to Ramchandra. Actually, really, Kaikeyi was not opposed to Ramchandra. She was only playing a pastime by the desire of Ram. So, but in the gist of that letter which he wrote to Mirabai is that if anyone is not opposing your bhakti, counterproductive for a bhakti, you should abandon that. So therefore, she left her palace and she came to Vrindavan. But her vision was not broad enough. Her vision was very small, narrow-minded. She could see only Krishna, not Radharani. She could not see gopis. Her vision could not accommodate anyone more than Krishna. Only Radharani also not accommodated in her vision. So finally, she landed up into she went to Dwarka and she merged in the deities of the Dwarkadish like that. She got a position in Dwarka, not in Vrindavan. Understand? So, to make a point, Srila Gurudev told that Mirabai, she gave up her husband because he was not devotee and opposing her bhakti. Understand? So generally speaking, Srila Gurudev is telling that, um, but if a husband is a devotee, is not opposed to bhakti, then one should not abandon such a husband. For a woman, it is very, very important that she sticks to that husband. Understand? Because if she is having faith in husband, then she is actually a trustworthy woman and she will be also, same mood will come to Gurudev also. Understand? If you are not serving your mother and father, you are ill-treating them, then how can you love Krishna? Understand? If you are not able to even serve your mother and father, what is the chance that you will serve Krishna? Understand? So first, we should try to follow these rules and regulations. And also, it is also the husband's duty not to give up his wife, like Ramchandra. Understand? He also, Ramchandra never gave up Sita. He gave up the queen. The king gave up the queen, but he never gave up Sita. Understand? He cannot give up Sita. Actually, Ramchandra's condition was worse than Sita's condition. Because Sita had someone to console the wives of the sages and her children, these, that. Who was there to console Ramchandra? He was alone by himself, ruling for such a long period, 11,000 years, 13,000 years on the planet. So, Ramchandra's life, we can learn from that, understand? That we should take Ekapati Vrat. I'll marry only one wife. A sannyasi brahmacharya, this question doesn't arise. But Grihasthas, they should be faithful. We should do a final marriage. Don't want to marry again and again. Understand? So husband should also be like that. He should also be very compassionate and kind. Hare Krishna. Alright?
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vijay. Hare Krishna. If you have any more questions, you can write me later or SMS me or send me by message, okay? Thank you
Sure,
so
Maharaj.
much. Radha Prabhu, Nishabhyo Bhagavan.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Maharaj, धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dhanyavad, thank you. Hare Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Hare
Hare.
Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Ananga Mohan Prabhu, can you please say Jai Diwani? Thank you, Hare Krishna.
नित्य गुरु गौरंग गिरिधारी राधा विनोद बिहारी जी की जय। नित्य देव विष्णु विष्णु पार श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत विष्णु देव स्वयं महाराज की जय। नित्य
Jai.
देव विष्णु विष्णु पार श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत दंडी स्वामी महाराज की जय।
Jai.
नित्य देव विष्णु विष्णु पार श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
Jai.
नित्य देव विष्णु विष्णु पार श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय।
Jai. Jai.
नित्य विष्णु पार स्तोत्र तथा श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय।
Jai.
नित्य विष्णु पार स्तोत्र तथा श्रीमद भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य विष्णु पार स्तोत्र तथा श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
नित्य परम भगवत प्रभारा श्री श्रील गौरी किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्णु श्री सच्चिदानंद बख्श विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य
Jai.
प्रविष्ट विष्णु सर्वभौम श्री श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। श्री गौड़िय
Jai.
वेदांत आचार्य श्री बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय। श्री
Jai.
विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय। श्री
Jai.
नरदम श्रीनिवास रामानंद प्रभु त्राय की जय। श्री कृष्ण
Jai.
कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री रूप
Jai.
सनातन भात रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भात दास रघुनाथ सत गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय।
Jai.
श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंद श्री गौरव प्रसाद बिंद की जय।
Jai.
नाम आचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय।
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सती गौर भक्त बिंद की जय।
Jai.
कांता द्वीप मायपुर सीमान द्वीप गोधुम द्वीप मध्य द्वीप कोला द्वीप ऋतु द्वीप जानु द्वीप मोदा द्वीप रुद्र द्वीप पद्मनाथ नवद्वीप धाम की जय।
Jai.
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपी गोवर्धन द्वादश वर्णात्मक श्री भज मंडल की जय।
Jai.
श्री राधा कृष्ण तुम गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय। श्रीमत विंद देव की जय। श्री पौर्णमास योग माय की जय। श्री गोपीश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बल्लभ सुभद्र सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल की जय। सर्व विघ्न विनाशिका श्री नरसिंह देव की जय। भक्त प्रवाह श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। चार धाम की जय। चार संप्रदाय की जय। चार आचार्य की जय। अकर महाराज श्री चैतन्य मात की जय। श्री श्री केशव विजय गौरी मात ओ तत्सक मात समूह की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री मधुर कदम्बिनी की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समगार भक्त वृंद की जय। चिंताय गौर प्रेम हरि हरि बोल।
Vanchakalpatarubhyaste kripasinibhya patitanam pavanibhya Vaishnavibhya namo namo Vaishnavibhya namo Vaishnavibhya namo. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining and attending today's class. We'll see you all again on Friday for Chaitanya Charitam Lilamrita. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams.